Good morning. And on our top stories for the day, UAE offer retirement visa for expatriates of determination. And on other top stories, on the third day of schools reopening, the student occupancy remains at 25%. The project Runway begins between UAE and Israel after tying diplomatic ties. And our other top stories is that Filipino expats must now earn up to 10,000 dirhams to be able to secure supporting documents for travel. Stay tuned to the QTV by Liz Njoga. My name is Elizabeth Njoga. People around the world looking to have distinct retirement life can start their new chapter in Dubai. Residents or any foreigner aged above 55 years can apply for the 5-year retirement visa on retiredubai.com, as was announced on late Wednesday. The retiree has to have a monthly income of 20,000 dirhams from investment or pensions, or 1 million dirhams in saving or a property in Dubai, that is 2 million. The region's first of its kind scheme was launched by Dubai Tourism and the General Directorate for Residency and Foreigners Affairs as per directives that was issued by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is the Vice President and the Prime Minister of UAE and the ruler of Dubai. To ensure competitive offering, Dubai Tourism has worked with its partners to develop key propositions for retirees covering the healthcare, real estate, insurance, and banking, and the Government of Dubai Media Office said in its initial phase. The program will focus on UAE residents working in Dubai that has reached the retirement age. The program offers long-term residents of the city who are familiar with Dubai's value proposition and easy and hassle-free retirement option. Dubai's close proximity with the native countries of the large majority of the residents make it convenient for retirement destination for them. Now, moving on to our second top story, the student attendance at the UAE schools will be at only 25% for the meantime and will be increased gradually as the health protocol stipulates, and the temperature check is now mandatory for all educational facilities. Student attendance at school across UAE will be limited to only 25%, and a full return of the campus will be implemented in phases, as the minister has said. Overall student attendance numbers will be initially limited to 25%, and after 2 weeks there will be a plan to increase this to up to 50% and then 75% and later on to 100% until the reach full attendance is done. And for those opting for in-person classes, Said Hussein bin Ibrahim Al-Hamadi, that is the Minister for Education, on Tuesday evening. He said that 1.27 million students have resumed their studies in the new academic year, and including 130,000 who are at universities. The UAE decided on a hybrid education system to give parents the freedom to choose between their children's attending classes or a distance education for the first semester. Now we move on to our main story of the day, that is the project Runway between United Arab Emirates and Israel, as the aviation sectors is expecting to be critical in the connection fostering the economic ties between these two countries. The air traffic sector, both for passengers and cargo, pose huge potential for UAE and Israel, as the former can leverage its regional aviation status to attract more tourists from the latter. While the first commercial flight from Israel is scheduled to land in Abu Dhabi today, UAE Airline is waiting for the country aviation authority to give the green light to start their operations to Israel. On August the 13th, the UAE agreed to expand diplomatic and commercial ties with Israel. News wires have reported that Israel national carrier is scheduled to make first commercial flight to Abu Dhabi today from Tel Aviv, and the flight will carry several high-profile officials. On Saturday, the UAE has also abolished the ban preventing individuals from the firms in United Arab Emirates to trade or deal with their counterparts in Israel. The operations of any routes require air traffic rights and the government approvals, and once those are in place, Emirates Airline will review the market and demand and the range of operational factors before making any decision to start flight services. Now, moving on to our next story of the day is that Filipino expatriates inside United Arab Emirates will need now to earn at least 10,000 dirhams to secure a supporting travel document for their family members who will be visiting them inside United Arab Emirates. According to the new policy implemented by the Philippines missions, the new income requirement for affidavit of support and guarantee was part of the updated policy that took effect on August the 24th, and the details will be published both in the UAE and the Philippines General Consulate in Abu Dhabi. Now, for a single expat who wishes to sponsor a relative's UAE visit, he or she must show proof of 10,000 dirhams monthly income. However, for a married couple, the combined income should be 14,000 dirhams to be accepted. The policy has stated that a family of four, either a husband or wife with 2 children or a single parent with 3 children, can present a total income of 18,000. Previously, the affidavit requirement was only 3,500 dirhams. The experts signed the affidavit as a guarantee that they can support their relatives during their stay in United Arab Emirates, though the traveling visitors usually present the document to immigration officials in Manila prior to boarding. Though the ASG has sparked controversy in the past, Philippine authorities have explained that it will be part of measures to combat human trafficking and illegal recruitment for the Philippines, not only in United Arab Emirates but the Greater Gulf. Thank you for tuning in to the QTV by Liz Njoga. I have been your presenter and my name is Elizabeth Njoga.